Those Who Wish Me Dead is directed by Taylor Sheridan. It stars Angelina Jolie, Finn Little, John Bernthal, Aidan Gillan, and Nicholas Holtz. This film focuses on a teenager named Connor. Connor witnesses a murder and he is pursued by two assassins. As he's running away, he comes across this firefighter named Hannah who has this certain event that's traumatized her in the past. She sees this kid who is clearly in distress and she does everything she can to help out this kid and run away in the Montana wilderness where there's a fire that's threatening to burn everyone. And we have our movie. So, as I mentioned before, Taylor Sheridan, he's the person who is directing this film. And I'm a huge fan of Taylor Sheridan. To me, he is one of the best screenwriters working in Hollywood today. Some of his movies that he's worked on is Sicario, Hell or High Water, and Wind River. I'm a huge fan of all of those movies. I think those films are some of the best films to come out in the decade. And I am someone who is always going to support Taylor Sheridan. Anytime he's coming out with a movie, I'm going to be instantaneously excited for it. And that was the case for this movie. I was certainly looking forward to it. It was nice to see Angelina Jolie back in an action film after so many years. And I thought the trailers were promising. I was looking forward to Those Who Wish Me Dead. So I saw it this past weekend. And what did I think of it? Those Who Wish Me Dead, now I'll say this. Does this rank among Taylor Sheridan's best films? No, absolutely not. With that said, it's still a decent action thriller. I had a good time. It's entertaining. It's well executed, despite not being anywhere near on the same level as his other works. So let's talk about the performances really quick. This film has really strong performances. Like I said before, it was nice to see Angelina Jolie do this type of role again. And she's really solid in the film. I thought she added a lot to her character. There's a little bit of a backstory. I mentioned before that she has an event that has traumatized her, and you can see how she's coping with that. She was really able to sell the performance, and from a physical standpoint, I thought she was also very convincing. I liked Angelina Jolie a lot in this movie. I'll talk about the writing for character in a little bit, but for now, we'll just talk about how she did in terms of acting, and I thought she was great in the film. We also have Finn Little. I don't believe I've ever seen Finn Little. He doesn't look familiar. But in any case, he gives one of the best child performances of the year. He was convincing. You can tell that he's going through a lot. He witnessed the murder of someone who was very close to him. And how he's dealing with this situation, you really sympathize with him because his life changes like that. He had no idea his life was going to go this way. And from one second to another, it all changed. And I like the chemistry between him and Angelina Jolie's character, Hannah. Both of them, they really, their chemistry is some of the best highlights of the film, in my opinion. Aidan Gillan and Nicholas Holtz, now they both play the villains, very menacing. I mean, they're the assassins and they're ruthless. I really like their story arcs in this film. And as I said before, they are very menacing, and every time they're on screen, when you know they're about to do something, I found myself on the edge of my seat. They were both really great in the film as well. And you have John Bernthal. Now, John Bernthal, he's a fantastic actor, in my opinion. The problem with him is that when he shows up in movies, he has very little screen time. That's not really the case here. He is definitely a supporting character, but he's not like in one scene and that's it. He does have more to do. For you John Bernthal fans that are worried about that, you don't have to worry about that for this film, Those Who Wish Me Dead. He does have more of a role here, and he's good in the film as well. He plays the sheriff, and he has some sort of role in the story, much more than you might think. So, yeah, I definitely liked his performance as well. All the acting across the board was strong. This film feels like a throwback to the 90s action films. This was intense. It was really entertaining. Right away, it starts like that. I mean, it kind of is a slow burn in the beginning, but when the movie starts, like you're in the story like that, and it basically just takes you along the journey for an hour and 40 minutes. And it was well executed, as I said before. I like the cinematography a lot. The location for this film, it's Montana, and it's the Montana wilderness to be specific. I've never been to Montana, but I have to say, watching the wide shots of the wilderness and of the state in general, it makes me want to visit Montana one day, even though in this movie, the wilderness is threatened by this fire. there's just something about the state that looks really nice, and I was engaged with the way Taylor Sheridan really focused on the setting of the film, and yeah, I was just mesmerized by that. Another thing about the film that works is the action scenes. There's not too many action scenes, but the ones that are there, they are effective, and there are definitely some intense moments. One scene in particular, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but it was all well done. The music is great, and as I said before, it feels like a '90s action movie. It's one of those films that knows exactly what it is. Doesn't try to be anything more, anything thought provoking, or something that makes you think outside of the box. But in that sense, it can also be a little disappointing because we've seen other works from Taylor Sheridan. We know what this guy is capable of. He's made, as I said, Sicario. He's made Wind River, Hell or High Water. Those movies has their action scenes, but what makes those movies great is the story and how well written those movies are. They offer a lot more than just the action scenes. And this film is very simplistic compared to his other movies. That doesn't mean this movie is bad, but when you take into consideration the talent Taylor Sheridan has, it's like, well, I know Sheridan, I know you're better than this. So I hope your next movie you can just go a little bit beyond than just making a simplistic action movie. Because that's basically what this movie is. You have to accept this movie as Taylor Sheridan being simplistic. And if that you're fine with that, you're more than likely gonna like this film. So what I'll say is that there's another film I reviewed a little while ago called Without Remorse, and actually Taylor Sheridan was one of the screenwriters for that movie. In comparison to that and this, I think this is a better film than Without Remorse. But again, both of them, in my opinion, they're action films that they're formulaic and they're nothing really new. This film in particular is just more well made than Without Remorse. And like I said, if you're willing to accept that, then you might have a good time. This film is on HBO Max as well. So I would say if you had the option between the theaters or HBO Max, I would say you could watch it on HBO Max. And I think you'll like the film overall if you give it a chance and not really expect something on the level of Hell or High Water or Wind River. I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10. It's a decent action film. I had a good time. It was entertaining. And Angelina Jolie was great in the film as well as all the other actors. So, yeah, good movie. Those Who Wish Me Dead, 7 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching my review of Those Who Wish Me Dead. I hope you guys will take it into consideration in regards to you wanting to check out the film or not. My next review will be for Army of the Dead, the Zack Snyder zombie film that's coming out on Netflix this Friday. I saw it in theaters last night, so I'll be having an early review for you guys. I'll try to have it to you guys in a couple of days or so. So look forward to that. I will see you guys next time with my review of Army of the Dead. Thank you again. Make sure to like this review, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share the review if you want, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.